How can you avoid a situation like Rambo fell into, the book Rambo, where he stumbled into a town that just didn't like strangers at all? I've found some signs in my traveling. I don't have a lot of experience, but I'm able to compare similarities between cities with problems that I've had between them. Okay, so one key is the building shares the police station with City Hall. They're in the same building together, and there's that influence of police over the government, the local government, a little bit. A lot of other cities will have public safety buildings where it's a fire department and police together. Okay, and that's a different influence. That's a different focus. Okay, it's for public safety buildings. Okay, but when the police are in the same and are in the city hall, pretty much, that's a different focus. All right, it's a different influence. The police proudly display those shadow flags both on the building and the cars, either or. Okay, I've seen it in a couple of cities where the police station will have the flag right in their building. At least one business will praise the cops. That's something to be aware of. Okay, if there's somebody who's openly praising the cops on their advertising signs, okay, there might be a lot of other like-minded people. It might be very much a part of the culture where they love cops a lot. Okay, they might say, just thank God for law enforcement or something like that. There's very little diversity in the town, so you're not going to see. You're only going to see like one linear culture. Okay, it's very narrow. It's a bubble. Okay, it's a culture bubble, a culture box. They live in a box. They live in a bubble. The town is a bit out of the way and not really a touristy type of town. So that's a good indicator. If you're going to some place that really doesn't have any features on the Google Maps to say, this is a cool place for whatever, then they might be geared more towards being a cop town. Okay, they're not trying to attract people, and they may have reduced their tourist activity. That's what happens in Horseshoe Bend, Idaho. They had a train tour and that just stopped, and they had RV camp and that stopped. And so they're really getting a vacuum of. They're losing a lot of revenue in that respect, and the cops still remained. The cops were still, I think, the same number of cops are still in the budget. There might be a county jail or a courthouse in the town. Okay, that's something to consider. I'm not sure how much of a factor that is for all cop towns, but that's definitely a factor in Coquille, Oregon. Okay, you won't find any homeless people around. All right, I've been to a lot of cities where I see homeless people find creative places to sleep. I don't see any homeless people finding creative places to sleep in cop towns. They get run out hardcore. You won't see many franchises of the big box stores. They'll be mostly family owned businesses like the grocery stores. And those grocery stores will have signs right on the front door saying this such and such. No bags, no bathrooms. They'll have really strict rules. Okay, unlike the more open franchises, big box stores like Walmart always has the bathrooms available. Family-owned stores, you won't find that so much. You'll also see signs that say, "Please support your local business," but that's really ironic, I think. So that's my list. All right, you decided to take a little trip and just to explore the area and stumble into a small town and wonder, am I in a cop town? Well, here are some clues that might help. They're not 100%, and this is based on my limited experience of traveling, but this could help you avoid those Rambo-like situations where a cop pulls up and just tries to get you out of the city as quick as he can. All right. The police are in the same building as City Hall. The police and City Hall share the same building. Okay, there's that proximity issue for influence from the bureaucracy over the politicians that can really, influence how the city operates. Okay, I've been in some cities where they have emergency centers or safety buildings where they'll merge the police and fire departments. Okay, and they have their own setup, which is more focused on safety than it is criminal enforcement. So that's something to look for. Okay, it's interesting. Not every city has the city hall, have the police station and city hall sharing the same building. Okay, they proudly display those shadow flags. Okay, the past two really bad interactions I've had, the police station one of the police stations in Idaho City, actually, it's the sheriff's office has the black shadow flag right on the front of their building. Okay, and in Coquille, Oregon, every car has a black flag. Okay, at least one business will praise the cops. Okay, they'll be like, "Thank God for law enforcement," or they'll just say, support the police or something like that. I've seen that on like I believe a grocery store, deli type of business, and I've seen it on an auto mechanics shop. When you see that, that's kind of a warning, that these people are happy that excessive force enforcement is occurring. Okay, there's very little diversity in the town, and I'm talking like ethnic diversity. It's generally going to be one race, and you could take a wild guess what race that is in America, at least. The town usually is going to be out of the way. It's not going to be a tourist destination. Okay, so they don't expect to see many people, or it says reduced tourist activity. You see that there used to be tourist activities, but they shut down, like you see in Horseshoe Bend, Idaho. They have a train tour that shut down years ago, but you still see the trains there, the tracks. They stopped operation. The RV park next to it closed down. It's just that revenue is stopped, and so there's that void of income, and that may spark and inspire them to enforce laws a little harder to make up for that loss. Okay, the county jail may be in the city or town. All right, but that's not always a guarantee to use as a measure. But you know that they're most likely increasing the funding for these local law enforcement in the city as a backup in case there is some kind of a major riot or a major criminal who could make the media, and they need extra protection for the media circus for any particular event. Okay, you won't find any homeless people around. They get rushed out immediately. Okay, people lounging around, bumming around. Okay, there won't be any obvious signs of homeless people in the town or city. Okay, they run them out. I mean, if there aren't any homeless people, then they've run them out. Okay, the cops have run them out. It's a extra strong enforcement. Okay, and that's a good sign on how much they relax. against it, against the living poorly. All right, you won't see many franchises or big box stores. Okay, it just seems to be kind of the trait with these cop towns. They don't want the big box stores. They just want to maintain like this small town atmosphere. As you find more family owned businesses, and those businesses have strict rules when compared to the box stores. Okay, there's rules on bags and bathrooms. I've seen a lot of these family grocery stores, and that's what I use a lot of, grocery stores, any stores. They just have strict regulations against that, and they most likely are going to support a cop town. They're going to be happy about cop towns. So that's my list. If there's any I should add, I can't think of any right now. So that's it.